it's like you're preparing for a war, right? And as you're preparing for that war, what's the first thing you're gonna look for? An enemy,
Yep.
right? You have to look for someone because you're already prepared for combat, right? And a lot of times it's the person that we're with, and you gotta catch them off guard because they're like, um, what did you say? Like, like they don't understand what's going on, where this is coming from, because there's no context, right? You could come to someone and say that, you know what, I don't like when women or I don't like when men do this. The next question someone's going to logically ask you is, why? Oh, because you know what? I was dating so and so and he treated me this way. And the way that he made me feel wasn't something that I like. So, can we make sure, since you and I are going to be together, that this doesn't happen? That's how adults would talk about it, right? But to your point, if you're going to come in saying that, oh, you know what? The last person I dated, he did this, 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 and this. So, what are you going to do about it? Because right, right,
Speechless.
yeah. Like
Like,
I don't know.
what am I supposed to say to that? Yep.
Yeah,
And I think do you also believe too, vulnerability is very scary for people? And especially when you're coming from a toxic, traumatic place, you're so terrified that every person is going to be that way. So now you are at, you have your war shield on and you're ready for battle. But who are you battling with half the time? You need to ask, are you battling with yourself? Because this is not the same individual that you're dealing with. So you can't put everyone in that same box. You have all your battle gear on, but there's no war. You're at war with yourself. Maybe you need to step back and realize you need to self heal before you enter into a relationship, because maybe you're just going to make that relationship toxic as it is. Maybe you're the one that's unhealthy.
yeah. We all need that time too, because I would say that when it comes to vulnerability, what's the most vulnerable part of any relationship? Intimacy,
Intimacy.
right?
Hmm.
Nothing is going to make you more vulnerable than that. So if it's a vulnerability issue, that's saying that, you know what, I don't want to open up myself because I can be hurt.
Hmm.
I would guarantee you, many of those people that would say that are probably still having a sexual relation.
Exactly.
So which vulnerability do you want? Do you want the one that I guess is going to feel good, which is intimacy,
Hmm.
or the one that is going to say, okay, you know what, it can feel really good? Because at the end of the day, companionship, getting to grow with the person, all that stuff is going to outweigh and outdo the intimacy the longer you're in the relationship, right? Because you're going to grow with that person, you're going to love them, and then it's going to be a balancing. It's going to balance each other out. But I think it comes down to maybe saying that, you know what, this person wasn't good for me. And many of us will still pursue men and women that remind them of those people, right? They can say that, you know what, this person was toxic, this person looks like this, does this, does this. The next person they date is what? A combination of those three things. They just have different traits. So you're looking in the same place, hoping it gets better because this is what you want. And I'll give an example. There's someone that she was having problems dating,
Hmm.
and she would come to me and she'd tell me, okay, I was like, okay, describe the type of guys that you date.
Hmm.
And she did. She's like, you know what? This is the type of guy that I date. This is the type of work that they do, so on and so forth. I was okay. Out of all the guys you dated, that's that type of guy. From the looks to what they do, everything. Have the relationship been ever been stable? She's like, no. So I was like, so at what point are you gonna change the type of guys you look for? That's I think that's an honest question, right? Like you're looking for something different in the same type of guy, right? Because she wants to be the type of woman that, when her man comes home, she wants him to she loves cooking. She wants to be able to cook a nice meal for him.
Hmm.
She wants to be able to take care of him, nurture him, things like that, right? She's that type of woman, that type of partner,
Right.
right? This is the type of a lot of women that were this way were from years ago, like my grandmother was like that, my mom, and so forth.
Hmm.
So she hasn't been able to find anyone to reach that point. So I told her, okay, try something new, try something extreme. Write down the type of guys you usually date and look for the opposite.
And what happened? Did she try? I mean, change is hard.
Hard.
In a relationship, change is hard if you have to just tweak things a little bit from what you're used to. It's very, very hard to change. I mean, you know how hard it is to change our own selves. It takes what about, they say, 6 months for you to get into a particular habit. So imagine even trying to change somebody else. It's nearly impossible. So change is hard to do. So I can imagine what she probably was thinking in her head, like, okay, so you want me to date my opposite? Why the hell would I want to do that? But if you want to yield a different result, you're going to have to take different approach, a different measure. Because if we continue to do the same thing year after year after year, how are we going to see different results? We're not. We're just going to see the same thing over and over and over. Every year you don't exercise is every year you're going to see the same result. Every year you're in that job that you're not happy about, it's that same result you're going to get every year. The same unhappiness when you wake up in the morning going to work, the same people at your job that you ain't going to want to look at. Until you make a decision to apply for jobs, that's when you're going to see change. And that goes the same with our relationship and our whole approach. And I feel like when it comes to relationships too, we enter them so toxic. We, you know, we enter relationships many times very toxic, damaged already. And now we're hopefully, our partner is grounded that we end up being with, because either they will help us see the light or we're just going to drag them with us. And then they're going to become toxic and the whole relationship is going to be blowing up because everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to be right. And in a relationship, I tell hubby this all the time. It's not about us being right. It's okay if somebody's wrong. We just need to accept that. It's not always about being right.